James Delray was a man with passion for Irish culture and folklore who would one day go on to direct the Irish Folklore Commission. James Delray first became very interested in folklore and Irish culture as a 16-year-old boy in the year 1915. In his journals, he recalls reading his favorite authors over and over again to satisfy his curiosity. Here are some of his favorite authors whose names we can't pronounce. Another person who helped foster Delargy's learning folklore was a professor he had at Castleknock College in Dublin. Delargy's curiosity and desire for knowledge in folklore grew, and he learned more and more every day. Here's an excerpt from his journal at this time in his life. It was a new world, a wonderful world. In those days I dreamed dreams and saw visions and a life before me, and I wanted so much to do something for the Irish language. This curiosity eventually led Delary to travel around Europe to places such as Scandinavia, Finland, Estonia, and Germany, just to acquire more knowledge about culture. It is now that he begins to hint in his correspondence to his friends and family that he would like to help build up a huge library of lore at the University College Dublin. This eventually led to James Delray working closely developing the Institute at the University College Dublin and directing the Irish Folklore Commission from the years 1935 to 1970.
When coming to Ireland in 1946, Disney headed straight for the Irish Folklore Commission at University College Dublin, where, on the day of his arrival, he met with its director, James Delray. Delray organised a number of trips to Connemara, Kerry, Wicklow, in which he served as folklore consultant to a party that included Walt Disney and his wife Lily, as well as their producer. The Commission's archivist Britt Mowen speaks of it as follows. Despite that Disney had come to Ireland with the intention of making a film about leprechauns, following directions from our director, we tried to interest Disney in one or another of the great heroic tales, but no, nothing but leprechauns would do the man, who had set his heart on meeting one, and had travelled across the Atlantic in the hopes that his wish might come true. To Delargy's disappointment, however, Disney decided to make an adaptation of the Irish-American 1903 collection of stories Darby O'Gill and the Good People, which ultimately resulted in the 1959 film Darby O'Gill and the Little People, small government grant. With this and other grants from the Rockefeller Foundation in 1930 and the Carnegie United Kingdom Trust in 1931, some collections were made by part-time field workers and 30 volumes of tales were published. In 1935, the Irish Folklore Commission was established under the Department of Education and was aiming to collect, preserve, and classify all aspects of Irish folklore tradition in a systematic manner. The Irish Folklore Commission carried out invaluable work over 1935 to 1971, collecting a treasure trove of Irish history in the form of recordings, photographs, music, and stories. It was regarded that the preservation of folklore was a part of the Gaelicization policy of the new state. This commission was finally succeeded by the Department of Irish Folklore in 1971.
Alright, so this project ended up being a bit more complicated than I think either of us expected. Because our video was about a real-life man, our sources were academic, but we did have trouble finding them. Delary was involved in a lot of folklore, but there were not a lot of sources that were just about him, although he was mentioned in many, many sources. We could only find a few sources that were actually about him and his life. We did end up finding a few sources that worked for us, and we divided up the sources between the two of us and then filled each other in once we read them all. When recording, we actually found out that we had way too much material and had to cut quite a bit out. It also proved to be a roadblock that neither of us had ever really made a true video before, so at first we were a bit lost, but eventually we found our way and got used to the software and such. So this is the finished product. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching.